What up, y'all? This your boy Kato.
Schalee low.
Man, you Trilogy. We here to talk today about the youth. We're gonna talk to y'all about relationships. We're gonna talk to y'all about finance. We're gonna talk to y'all
talk about the money.
Yeah, most definitely the current state of hip hop.
Oh yeah, we gotta bring that up because it's ridiculous out there.
And these kids these days, the youth in the direction that they going and that they moving in. It's like we really got to reach out to them. We got to find a way. It's just not right.
Yeah, we got to find a way to get our youth, on a better path, Like we was talking and we was conversating about how the youth, the graduation rate has went up, for black men, for black boys, it has risen and it has went up.
But that's only, again, like I say to you, because of it was so low to begin with that now it's coming up. It looked like it's coming up, but it's just actually coming up from being low.
From being extra low.
Right. So it's like, but it's taking the course is going in the right direction, and I applaud it for that.
Yeah, because it's not being said. It's not being said. You know what I'm saying? Like they still on that stigmatism that the men are leaving every black household in America, which I know is not true.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
I would say we coming in more.
Yeah, we coming in more. I look around at my friends and they at home with their kids. You know what I'm saying? Now the marriage rate hasn't probably changed because I don't see a lot of them getting married. More than the past, but not a lot of them, you know what I'm saying? They're still doing 20-year relationships and all that, but a lot of the men are at home.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's black fathers nowadays are being more accountable.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some that that started out that was having kids left or right and just didn't was caught up into their own life, and now I'm seeing them supporting their children more, father-daughter dances, graduations, proms, the whole nine. I mean, I'm seeing it more.
Even a lot of fathers that aren't in the household are, they being, like you say, accountable for their children.
Right.
They participating in their life.
Right.
Which is something that, a lot of us didn't get, what
exactly.
I'm saying? Because, I grew up and my father was, he was in and out of prison. But that's still not being accountable.
Exactly.
You have children. Your goal is to not go to prison to take care of these kids. So
right.
That's his part of not being accountable. But even when he wasn't in prison, he wasn't there in the way that I felt like he should have been.
Okay.
So that drove me to be a much, much, much better father. For my children. The two kids that I have that me and their mother decided to separate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so into their life. I'm so involved in every step of whatever they're doing.
Exactly.
That it's like I'm right there with them all the time anyway.
Yeah, now I have to say, my upbringing was kind of similar. When I was young, my father he was in and out of prison. But when I was 8 years old, my father was murdered, and it was just me and my mother and my brothers. And I had always said when I had children, I wanted to give them that storybook, that picture perfect, TV, family to where it's mom and dad and everything. So, no matter what, the two women that I have children by, I stand tall and try to be in my children's life to everything that's going on. I want to be in parent-teacher conferences. I want to be at plays. I want to be at everything possible that's going on, I have to talk to my kids daily. If I don't talk to them daily, I'm bothered, so I mean, they not gonna give us all accountability for everything that we deserve, but we know as long as we know as a community and as a people that we progressing in areas that they spoke down on us about. We getting it together.
Yeah, that's what I look at. That we are coming around. Things are changing. It's not how it used to be, but we also know a lot of that past. Our parents, they grew up in a situation where drugs had them very, very bad.
Killer.
It had them very, very bad. Like a lot of my father and his friends, they all maybe out of 20 of them, one of them didn't do drugs, and he might be a closet smoker. You know what I'm saying? Still, as far as I know, but most of them was on drugs heavily and alcoholics,
And see that right there goes into where, they didn't have the knowledge of what drugs was going to do to them and to the community we have the knowledge now, There was no nothing. There was no research.
So we sat back and we got to watch it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of us don't do. But now with this heroin, see, that's the crazy part. With heroin coming in, these young kids, like, it skipped us. Like, a lot of us didn't get hooked on crack because we sold crack.
Right.
We knew what crack was gonna do to you.
Right.
But now some of these young kids, they just shooting straight to heroin. Like,
man, I mean, it's the combination of all the drugs that they doing, the Molly, ecstasy.
Yep.
You know, it's like they don't, even with the knowledge of knowing what's in it, they don't care. They just want to party. You know, and it's like, at some point in time, do you know that that's going to take control of your body?
It got a lot to do, and it got a lot to do with the information that they're giving, especially from TV. Like, I'm watching Love and Hip Hop, and I like it, don't like it. I'm kind of in between.
I'm not a fan of it.
I'm kind of in between. Now, I'm not a fan of the content of it. Not the bitches. Not the bitches. They got some bad bitches on there. Make it hard to change the channel when you got some big booty bitches walking around. But anyway, that content. Like, these are supposed to be people with money.
Right.
So it seems. I don't know if they have money or not, so it seems. But what they're actually doing is totally degrading what somebody... Oh, if your daughter's growing up and watching this, she is going to be on the wrong path.
But that's just the visual side of it. What about the music? I mean, it's like, I quote 50 Cent one time. He has said that the music nowadays is just about talking about getting high. Everything is about getting high.
Yeah.
Everything is about getting high. And another thing I don't understand about and this is with the drugs as well. How is everybody a kilo man in the music business? Who was actually on the block then? If everybody's selling birds, if every rapper was the bird man, then who actually sold the drugs? Who was selling rocks? Or was y'all selling dope fiends whole birds?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I don't get it either because we came from a struggle. We came from a struggle where I literally came from 8-ball, quarter, half ounce, zip, all the way till I was buying eighth, till I was comfortable with the situation that I had built for myself. You know what I'm saying? Till I could cop 9s or whatever I was doing. But we came from this. I'm talking about the absolute struggle. And then when I hit rock bottom, if anything happened, I got to throw everything away. I had to start over again.
Got to start from the beginning.
Over again. I ain't gonna say it has been time to time where I have some people and they'll be like, here goes a zip. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what you was doing. Here goes a zip to start you off. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But give me my money back. You know what
exactly.
I'm saying? But I started from that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't one of these guys who just woke up and got a whole bird sitting in his lap. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or access to 20, 30 birds, and and I come from nothing. Which I do know some guys who had that, who got that plug like that. Didn't have to do nothing. Yeah, but it was very few guys. It wasn't a lot. And it was always a nerd.
I self wasn't fortunate enough to get a lucky handout. I started from the ground floors myself and flourished it to where, I made it to, moving, birds and doing what I was doing. But I have to say, even on that aspect of it, the youth now, still, I don't get it. It just seems like if they can't rap, if they can't play basketball, it's drugs. Those are the only three options. Yeah. And there's so much more out there. It's so much more out there. And I mean, I hate that they don't open their eyes to it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to preach to them. But I'm trying to come from and speak to you, you know what I'm saying, to the youth from I was y'all. I've been out there in the streets. There's nothing that y'all could tell me about in them streets that I haven't done or haven't seen.
But it's this educational system. Our educational system has not changed, you know what I'm saying, at all since the beginning of time. It's still like the classrooms look exactly the same. Everything is exactly the same. Like one person teaching 30 kids is a very hard thing to do when everybody learns differently.
Right.
Everybody comprehends differently. And just because in standardized tests does not equate to that you are smarter than me, because you can take this test. I could probably go outside and put an engine together, and you can't even put a bicycle chain on a bike. So that does not make you smarter than me.
Agreed.
But this is the standardized test. When you standardize test people, and then these people that pass are smart, and these people that fail are dumb. Automatically, how did that dumb group will feel when they got to go back to school? Like, well, I'm already dumb. Y'all already considered me dumb. You put me in slow class. I had some friends who used to try to get in the slow classes, you know what I'm saying, just because it was so easy.
Right.
And they would let them.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you was black.
Yeah, they would let you. If you was black, it was that easy. All you had to do was damn to say you wanted to be in some slow class, you could take them. You're not pushing people to be as smart as they are, or because those are the people that's gonna take those inventions that anybody create. You can only create something, and it can only last for so long because you can only live for so long. And if it's any next step to it, somebody else has to do that for you.
Right.
Somebody else has to take your invention to that next level where it's supposed to be. But the way we going, it's very few people that are actually doing that now, at least around me. I'm not saying it because I see it. Some bright kids out there, some genius kids out there.
Right.
But that's a very small fraction.
Well, see, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I say about what I will say about the youth nowadays. They want to be they want to be more of the CEOs, more of the bosses than they want to be the workers. And it's a plus and the minus to that. And it's a plus because that's what they want to strive for. But the minus to that is because they don't want to do the work that the worker has to do to become the boss. So they just want to jump straight into it and be the boss.
Somebody has to be the worker.
Somebody has to.
A CEO is not a CEO if everybody's CEOs. Now we all really workers.
Everybody all workers. We all equal.
Yeah, we all equal. Everybody can't be the CEO because somebody got to do to put the actual work in, the groundwork. But like you said, a lot of kids, because that's what, when you watch these TV shows, that's what it looks like. That's what they portray to these kids. You talk about Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. To them, it looks like you never see these people actually working.
No.
Never see them actually working.
No.
Like if you're not their Instagram friend, you don't know that they got shops and they actually doing stuff. So to a child looking at it, he think he can live that lifestyle without working because apparently y'all don't work because y'all in the bar fighting about some nigga or some stupid,
some plastic girl.
Yeah, some plastic girl. Y'all fighting about her, and it totally blows the mind of a child whose brain, anybody especially under 15, it blows their brain back to think that this lifestyle is real.
So with you being the father of a teenage daughter and myself, being the father, what is your thought on relationships nowadays? From the time that you were a teenager coming up to the current state of relationships.
From what I see, and I'm observing my daughter and I'm watching her, but I'm not controlling her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm letting her do experience a lot of things.
Okay.
But what I do see is, it's just like on Love and Hip Hop to me. They think that meeting a dude, liking a dude, and then arguing with him and fighting with him that's the lifestyle of the relationship, and that's not even a relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I tell my daughter all the time. You see how much I love you. You see the things I do for you. If a dude is not showing you that kind of respect, he don't love you. Because some little dude disrespected my little girl, disrespected her on social media. He didn't say it to her face, but he disrespected her on social media. Her mother found out, so she calls me and tells me.
So what was your thought right at that moment when she was calling you, telling you what was being said on social media?
My thought is that this is some hoe shit. This is some hoe shit. Any nigga that got a disrespect a woman on social media, like, however you feel about her, if you can't tell her to her face, but you can go tell a whole bunch of other people, and the only way she find out you talking about her is when she go on Facebook and read it like, damn, this nigga just said whoop about me.
Yeah,
he didn't
crazy.
Call me and tell me.
That's crazy.
But that's the lifestyle we live in, where social media is your outlet to talk about people who you say you care about or anything. You could just go on social media. I see a lot of time family members do it. They'll go on social media, be like, I wish my family would whoop-de-whoop. And you be like,
that was work.
Why you not calling your family member telling them, like, you got me feeling this kind of way?
Because everybody's looking for that that ooh, that you right. If you call that person and tell that person how you feel, it's a great chance that they're not going to agree with you. So therefore, take it to a
platform where
everybody's saying, you right.
Or at least the people at least a couple of them, because there's going to be a couple of people like, you wrong, you shouldn't even be posting this about your family.
Right.
But that's easily ignored when you got 20 other people saying you right. You know what I'm saying? So
see me, I've experienced, a situation that I went back and forth, with several people about. And I mean, I guess I would say I'm a little bit more on the protective side. Me and my, my daughter, we had a conversation, and she was talking to me about this boy that she liked. And well, she says she doesn't like him, but if you talking to a boy every day, and he's calling you every day, you calling him every day, and you just saying he's your friend, okay, cool. I mean, all right. I've been to that friend stage. I've been there before. I experienced it, and I was telling her, I didn't like the fact that where the boy was from. It was like all the boys that come from the area that he comes from don't strive for nothing. They don't want nothing. They just want to be in rental cars. They just want to be on social media. They don't want to do anything of that nature, and people was against what I was saying because of that reason right there. I was just trying to tell her, that I want you to have more. I want you to do better than me. You know what I'm saying? As a father, I want you to set your goals higher than what you've ever seen me do for a woman, period. That's something that I want you to achieve, and I want you to go beyond. So it's like, if I'm going to set a precedent for you, I need you to go above that. I need you to strive.
Especially when I feel like I'm setting a high precedent. Like, hold on, this bar is way high. So this little nigga got to be at a leap. You know what I'm saying? He got to be at a Michael Jordan leap, Sean Kemp leap over this. Because that's how good I want it for my girl. I want her to find somebody who actually loves her, respects her, and helps her.
Exactly.
Because everybody needs some help sometime, even if it ain't financially. You know what I'm saying? Emotionally, people need help, and they need that security to feel like the people that are in my corner are actually in my corner and got my back. But it's a lot of games being played because once somebody figure out how they can manipulate the mind of somebody else, especially with a young girl. Because I used to do it,
I used to do it myself.
I used to do it
myself.
Once I got her, I can manipulate her and do a lot of things to her that she don't even realize I'm doing. And it might not be years till she actually figure out, like, this nigga has been tricking me, lying to me about a lot of things that he didn't even have to.
Exactly.
But that also comes, like I say, that comes with somebody not having a male not having an example of how you treat a woman in the house.
Exactly.
Which was something that I didn't get. I didn't get that. But luckily I had my grandparents, and they were a lot older than me, but I was around them a lot, so I got to see a portion of how a man's supposed to treat a woman.
And see, I can't honestly say that I could think of that. When it comes to my uncles were manipulators to women. My brothers. So it wasn't.
So basically, how you became is because that's how you wanted to program yourself to be like that.
That's not how I want to program myself. That's what I thought I had to be.
All right.
That's what I thought I had. That's what I thought was right until I got older and started to see, like, whoa, that actually hurts. Man, like, no. I think a lot of it took place when I had my daughter. When I had my daughter, it made me realize, like, whoa. And my mother used to always say it to us, what I'm saying? There's something that's stuck in the back of my head. Like, y'all will see a lot of what I'm telling you when you have your own kids. And when I had my daughter, it changed my whole world, my whole mindset, because it was like, now it wasn't just about me. It's about this little girl that I know at some point in time is going to grow up to become a young woman to a woman. And how do I remember
all the stuff that whatever you took her through, she's going to remember.
She's going to remember it.
And that hurts you when your daughter turned 20 and look at you like, you ain't did nothing for me.
Right.
And then you can actually think back like, well, when you was 15,
right.
When I was 15, you did that one thing.
Exactly.
But I luckily I don't have that. My daughter both my older kids can look and say, hey, my dad did. He went above and beyond all the time.
Exactly.
He tried hard, and when he couldn't, I didn't trick him like I was gonna do it. No, I can't do that.
Yeah. And I've been through that. You know what I'm saying? The hurt of not being able to do.
And it does, and it hurts me.
Yeah, most definitely. So that's us with our children. But what would you say is different about you now, in your mind state of relationships now versus to when you was 20, 21?
Now I take a relationship very serious. For me, I got hurt. I didn't get hurt till late in my life.
Okay.
Like all my friends, they've been heartbroken through high school. You know what I'm saying? Junior high, some of them went back, and I can remember sitting up crying in junior high about something, bro. And I never had that problem. Luckily me, I did not have that problem. The girl who I had was a very faithful, loyal girl and still by my side, you know what I'm saying, for 14 years. 14 years she stood by my side, you know what I'm saying, and she was very, very loyal until she decided not to be because I wasn't.
Okay.
And it took all that for me to go through that And then I never felt that pain. That was the thing of it. Until you actually feel that pain of somebody hurting you, you don't know what they feeling when they sitting around crying. You be like, man, get over that. You know what I'm saying? You tripping. You know, I done that to that other bro, but get over it. Until I went through it, and I said, you just can't. That's something you just can't get over. That you just don't wake up tomorrow and that pain is gone. That pain lingers on for a long time. Even while you're trying to deal with it, it's still lingering inside of you. Like, how could you be with her like that?
Yeah, and I experienced that hurt when I was 14, 15 years old, when I first thought I was in love, when I first thought love was, what I was feeling. And I mean, it was love, but some people would say it was puppy love, but, to me, love is love.
Yeah.
So, I mean, puppy love, adult love, whatever. Pain is pain, you know what I'm saying? So
it's going to feel the same.
It's going to feel the same, so I experienced that when I was, younger. And I mean, mine wasn't because the young lady cheated on me, anything. It was because the young lady had moved away, and me being young, I couldn't understand why she moved away. And till I got older and was like, well, she didn't have a choice. She was a kid just like I was a kid. But that was another thing that triggered me to just not caring about women at all. I went into that stage of, what? If this is what showing a person you love them means that, you're going to end up alone anyways, I don't want to go through it. So, I just went through, the rest of my teenage years and my early 20s to just not caring, like you going to take me being the player that I am, or you ain't going to take me at all,
So tell me what you think about this. How people always say things like, nobody else should make you happy. You got to make yourself happy, because if they leave, just like you were saying, if she decided to leave you, then now your happiness is gone.
Right.
Which I kind of agree, but I kind of don't, because I'm a happy person for myself anyway.
Right.
Now, when I'm with somebody who I care about, am I happier? You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to gauge that.
It's a joint happiness.
Yeah, it's a joint happiness. Like us being together, doing whatever we're doing, cooking together, watching a movie together, whatever we're doing, it's a joint happiness.
Right.
So, yes, if she left, I would be upset.
Right.
But I wouldn't be upset like she was my whole, because I know I can find somebody else who can bring me this joy, and probably not exactly how she
Or
did.
I can watch a movie by myself and still be happy.
Yeah, or I can watch a movie by myself and still be happy. It's a lot of things I can do by myself and still be happy, but a lot of people, I hear a lot, especially a lot of preachers and pastors saying this, like, don't let nobody else, control your happiness. And I'm like, hold on. So that's almost like not trying to love in a way, like, I'm not going to commit totally loving you, because any second you could leave, and if you do, you taking some of my happiness with you.
Yeah.
But that's gonna happen anyway if they leave.
In all aspects of life.
So to me, that statement doesn't make sense. It never made sense to me. Don't let nobody else, bring you your happiness. You got to find it yourself. Like,
I could go on to the, not letting somebody steal my joy or steal my happiness. But if I've given you, a part of me to where, I'm giving you a part of my heart, I'm giving you a part of my time, I'm giving you a part of my world. Mm-hmm. And if for some reason I have to take it back, or you just leave, or for whatever reason that commitment is not there anymore, of course it's going to break something. Mm-hmm. Something's going to be taken away. A piece of me is gone, so I have to learn how to rebuild whatever it was that I was doing. If we sharing a home together, if I'm in your house or you at my house, however the situation is, if we together constantly, and for some reason we not together, even if the person pass away, it's still a part of you gone.
Yeah, and you're going to feel some kind of way. You should feel some kind of way about it.
You have to, or you're not human.
I was listening to T.D. Jackson, this is what he was saying, and it's like, so how do you love somebody then? Knowing that, and like you say, it's not just you breaking up with me that's gonna take my joy. What if you get into a car accident and die? That's my joy,
Right.
Or anything, if you don't die and you become an invalid and you ain't the same person you was, that's gonna take some of my joy. I'm the kind of person, I'm going in this thing head first. If I fall in love with you, it is what it is, and I'm taking it all with it. Like, if you have to leave, you got to leave, but I gave you my all, so I'm not going in there put my foot halfway in, and no, that's what it sounds like he's saying to me.
I can honestly say that I haven't been in love that many times. I haven't been in love that many times. I haven't even been in that many relationships that many times. So I mean, and that, that goes back to that time where I said, I thought that I was gonna be with this person when I was a teenager for the rest of my life, and that person didn't. So when I finally found that person that I wanted to be with again, for the rest of my life, I've been rocking with that situation. That relationship, that commitment from the time. So it's like
you decided that that's what you was gonna do.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about like the cat and mouse game? Do you feel like that's a necessary part of a relationship? That sometimes I chase you, sometimes you chase me?
Yeah, because if one person is just sitting up thinking that you're supposed to give it all to them all the time, then it's not gonna be fair.
Because I was talking to one of my female friends, and she said she don't like playing that game. She like, if you with me, if you rocking with me, you rocking with me. I don't want to have to chase you. I don't want you to have to chase me. And I'm like, so, what is y'all doing to me? Like, I enjoy chasing my woman. Not physically chasing her, but chasing her, letting her know how much I appreciate her and how sexy I find her.
Right.
And sometimes she get on my nerve, and after she get on my goddamn nerves, and I'll be like, look, I ain't even talking to you right now.
Now it's her turn.
And now it's your turn to chase me and get me back in favor with you.
Right.
And I feel like that's necessary. And she was like, nah, I don't do that. I'm like, man, to me that sounds like your
Is
relationship.
she in a relationship?
No.
That's why. That's why. So that explains it right there. That's why she's single, because she's not putting in that effort.
Yeah, that cat and mouse game to me is very important, and I enjoy it.
You need to. Every man needs to spoil their woman from time to time. I mean, that doesn't mean time to time. If you got it to want to do it all the time, do it all the time. But I feel like you are supposed to spoil her.
Yeah.
Make
and
her
she's
feel
supposed to have her time.
Right.
She spoil you.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Yeah, so relationship. Like I guess you would call I'm a head over heels romantic type guy. I love love. I love love a lot. Like, and I love to see other people in love. Like, I can see a couple happy walking down the street and it make me feel some kind of way. Not like I want to go get in between they shit, but it make me feel good on the inside. Like, people is still out here loving each other. You know what I'm saying? Relationships to me are very important. They're the building blocks of everything, of our country and everything. Because without that man-woman relationship, not to exclude nobody, but any kind of relationship, it could be two men, two women, whatever y'all were doing, but without the love, if it's any kind of bullshit in there, it's easily seen. It comes out, and then it affects the people around you that fuck with you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, if we sitting up here and we are arguing a couple all the time, we really don't love each other. We really shouldn't be together because we physically hurting each other because we don't trust each other. Like, that needs to, y'all need to break up. But a lot of times you see some people go through that shit 30 years. Like,
yeah,
what happens to their kids? What happens to their kids? Most of the time, their kids end up in relationships exactly like that because they think that's what love is.
Right.
But that's not love. You know what I'm saying? Love. The people say love shouldn't hurt.
But it does.
But it does.
And
it's supposed to, because it's a passionate part of like, you putting passion to it. That's like if you created some art and somebody just came up and ripped it up. It should hurt a little bit. Like, if somebody ripping up and you don't care, you didn't care about that anyway. You know what I'm saying? You didn't care about that painting you spent 3 days on, or 3 months, or however long. You create a statue. I come up and just take a hammer to it. And you be like, man, so what? I ain't care about that anyway. Then what was you doing all this shit for?
Yeah, that's like a musician.
Yeah.
They put all their time and their effort into their music, and to see it not sell, it hurts.
It should hurt.
It hurts.
It should hurt. And a lot of times you hear some backlash from it because people, they don't know how to take pain. You know what I'm saying? Which is something I'm dealing with. Learning how to take pain, you know what I'm saying? Accepting that pain is gonna come and I have to deal with it.
And see, me, I think I was hit early, with pain. Like I said, at a young age, losing my father when I was 8 years old. I think it really all started then, to losing my father, to losing my brother, to losing my nephew, to losing a couple best friends, cousins. I mean, pain is something that, and it's sad to say that I think I'm kind of immune to, to a certain degree. And it's like, I'm kind of expecting it to a certain level, to where it's like, okay, something happened. Okay, yep, I knew it was gonna happen. All right, let's mourn, let's heal, and and move on. Try to at least.
Speaking on that, man, that people do become numb to it. Because I like some of my friends in Chicago. When I go there, like they numb to death. Like they have become literally numb to death.
Right.
You know, like some of their closest friends. Not saying they're not gonna cry, but they kind of expecting it. But I guess you should. If you go be in the streets and it's a lot of guns, you should expect somebody to die.
Right.
And it's a shame. Nobody should be numb to that unless you at war. Well, I guess they are at war. I don't know. I'm not in Chicago, so I don't know.
How do we get the kids to put the guns down?
I don't know, because I was talking about this yesterday. You know, gun reform is too far gone. It's already too many guns. You can't get rid of all the guns now. It's too many already, and they still making them. Mm-hmm. That's the hard part. How do you get the kids to put the guns down when they pushing guns on kids? Like, you can go buy, a Draco. Anybody can go buy a Draco. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need nothing. No, you could be a felon to buy a Draco. You know what I'm saying? Because it's considered a
shotgun, a
rifle. You know what I'm saying? But you can also take that same rifle, adjust it, and turn it into an automatic weapon. And they know this.
Right.
And they know this. So why are they letting people get access to that kind of, firepower?
Well, we know why they're letting them get access to it in certain areas. I mean, that ain't no question. We already know that. But the key is, how do we get the youth to say, you know what, when I get angered, the first thing I do is not go grab my gun.
It's hard, man, when the guns are right there. That's the problem. The guns are right there.
I mean, even growing up with us though, there was guns around, but it was considered a chump if you went and grabbed if you grabbed your gun. If that was the first thing, you
didn't even fight this man. Y'all didn't even square it up. And you already went to go get a gun because apparently you scared of him, so scared that the only way you can beat him is to kill him.
Right.
But see, it's kind of a catch-22 because if it wasn't so, like when we was younger. Now we talking about, almost, 20 years. I'm 40 now, so 20, we had guns and, guns was part of our, part of our everyday life.
Right.
But at this point, guns are out there so much. I'm talking about in 20 years, how many more guns you think they'd have made since when we was 20? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like now it's like, everybody can get access to a gun without even really having to try hard. We had people who had guns and we can get a little bit of access to guns. We couldn't get access to no AKs or no assault rifles at the drop of a hat.
Right.
These kids got that option.
Mm-hmm.
So with that option being out there, of course, there's going to be a lot of damage because, first of all, there's a lot of kids coming from broken homes who are miseducated. So their first thought process is to destroy whatever in their path instead of trying to find a way to go over it, under it, or around it. If I can just destroy it, I'm still going to get through there. But then, the repercussions that come, they don't even be thinking about that because they're uneducated, because they don't have the kind of love that we was talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way I think we can get the guns down is for people to start showing their kids, their family members, more love about each other. You know what I'm saying? Instead of, sitting up here watching Love and Hip Hop, that's totally corruption. Like, I don't have, I hope it's successful. It's a lot of black people on there. I hope the show is successful. I don't really want to watch it, and I don't really like my daughter watching it.
I'm more often I like, even though, what I'm saying, T.I. and Tiny had their problems and everything, I liked that show more than Love and Hip Hop.
Yes, I did. I like that show. The basis of what that show is about is what I try to have in my household. You know what I'm saying? Love, unity. Family, doing family things together. You know what I'm saying? That takes a lot of stuff away when there's a lot of people who ain't done no family things with their family. Like, never. Like, me and my mom and dad, we have never been to a amusement park, or we ain't never been on a camping trip. We ain't never, it's a kid that can go a list of mile long that he's never done with his parents.
Right.
Because sometimes you got a single parent, she got to work all the time. Sometimes she work 2 jobs. She don't got time to do what you're talking about.
And that right there is kind of a funny thing that you say that. Well, not funny, but kind of, take me back to a point of time where, I was in and out the house with my daughter's mother. I had my own house and everything, but I provided her with cars, I provided her with, money, everything that I could, to give her to make sure that her and my daughter was comfortable. Mm-hmm. But the women in the street that I were involved with didn't understand that. they thought that was just wrong. Like, why is you taking care of her house when you got your own house, or why you not, bringing that over here to me? And and it's like, well, I'm going to make sure that my children have everything, no matter what. Before I have it, before whatever situation I am in life, I'm gonna make sure that they have it to the fullest.
I totally agree.
To the fullest. So if it's popping up to an event where my children is involved, I'm going to be there. And sometimes it might be uncomfortable to another person that I'm involved with, but in my mind, growing up without having that person, that male figure to say, good job, son. Good job. I'll be there. I'm just like, I don't care. I understand it might hurt you and you might be bothered by it, but I can't see your pain being the way my pain was, my entire life.
Yeah, I feel you on that, because there's a lot of kids out here who, they just don't get, just like how you if you had that chance to, ain't no telling what you could have did if you had your father pushing you behind. You could have been anything. Not saying you was a successful person anyway, but that was self-driven.
Right.
You could have been Tiger Woods, if your father would have driven you. You don't know what you could have done.
Yeah.
That's why, how you feel about that? Parents driving their kids to success. Is it a bad thing or is it a good thing?
It depends on if you Tiger Woods' father, or if you Joe Jackson. And I guess it depends. I guess it depends on your method and how you do it.
But if you Joe Jackson, look what he did.
Yeah, Joe made but Joe, at the end of it, his kids turned crazy. They turned crazy because they didn't have any life. Joe had them strictly school, practice, perform. So it's like they had no life outside of that. So when they not performing, they don't know how to live. They don't know how to cope with the rest of the world, and they got so tired of being amongst each other that they don't even want to be around each other.
Yeah.
So that in that aspect of it, I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? But Tiger Woods' father, I don't know the backstory to how his upbringing was with his father. But from what I can see from a public stand, I would have to say,
he did a good job.
He did a good job.
Had a relationship while he was alive, and
right?
All that. But to create Michael Jackson, that's you created the icon.
But did he create Michael, or because Michael became Michael after he left Joe?
But if he wasn't pushed by Joe as a young age, he came from Gary, Indiana. If they wouldn't have left Gary, he could have been
in the streets.
I don't know if he'd have been in the streets. He'd probably been beat up. He could have been dead.
Agreed.
Talking about Gary, you know what I'm saying? He could have been hurt. All of them, they're gonna be walking around like they looking.
Agreed.
And the whole family might have got brutalized. That's how it is gonna be. But that'd have been totally different.
And see that's what I'm saying. That's where my father, and my family, on my father's side is from Gary, and they live 2 streets over. You know what I'm saying, from Michael Jackson, and maybe 1 street. My father grew up on Van Buren, and Michael and them grew up on Jackson Street. Well, actually, my father's grandmother, she grew up down the street. Her house was down the street where my father and them grew up from Michael Jackson them. So it's like, man, it was rough and it was tough. So you do have Michael Jackson out of Gary, and then you do have my father, out of Gary, and they went 2 different paths.
2 different paths.
2 different paths. But my father's father was in his life, but my father's father and his brothers were in the streets.
And that's why your father.
And that's sent my father into the streets.
So we see the example. You know what I'm saying? I look at Serena's father, and he pushed them.
Pushed them, and they straight out of Compton.
Straight out of Compton. He pushed them, and they became. Look who they became because he was pushing them.
Right.
So that's a very important thing.
Yeah.
I was kind of deterred from pushing my children that hard because I didn't want the anger that comes with it. A child, you pushing them hard, and then that child behind your back mad at you, or like, I'd rather be with my friends, I'd rather be doing this. If he loved something, I would push it at him. If my son had ever come to me, even my youngest son, when he get a little older, if he come to me and he want to do something, I'm gonna make sure he got access to do that as much as he want.
Right.
And I still don't know if I'm gonna be able to like push them, wake them up in the middle of the night and say, hey, you know.
It depends on how much effort they show you that they want to put into it. If they have a talent that's just, you know, beyond what they understand, then yes, you have to show them that they have to go harder. Yeah, you got to go harder.
Sure.
So yeah, I on that, yeah, I would push, but pushing to where, you know, I still want you to have a life. I still want you to understand that if you're a basketball player, there's life after basketball. You know, if you're a rapper, there's life besides rapping. I mean,
yeah, but everybody can't be rappers and ball players. That's what everybody strive to be, and it's just so much more out there. Like, we need more writers. You know what I'm saying? We need more writers, more male black writers. You know, we got very few male black writers that actually write books. You know, like,
right.
We need that because there's a lot of stories to be told, and they don't all have to be about drugs. You know what I'm saying? It can be about love. You know, the stigmatism about how a man can only man can talk about love is a dude that's singing R&B, basically. You know what I'm saying? That's the stigmatism that we got inside of our community. You know, like back when LL used to do I Need Love and stuff like that, you know, he stopped doing songs like that, you know what I'm saying, for a long period of time because of the stigmatism that, you know, you're supposed to be hard. You shouldn't love nobody. Like,
right.
But, you know.
I watched an interview with DJ Pooh, and he was, you know, for those that don't know who DJ Pooh is, he co-wrote Friday. And he was saying, you know, they asked him what made him, you know, want to write a movie as such as Friday. And he said that he's you know, people didn't know he was already directing videos with Ice Cube and them and everything, and he had never wanted to really act. You know, so he said he always had wrote and everything, and he just said the boys in the hoods was out there. You know, the Menace Societies was already out there, and he wanted to do something different.
Yeah.
And he was like, he said he didn't want people to think that black people don't just laugh in the hood. We laugh and we joke and we play in the hood just as well. So he said he wanted to do something of that nature, and him and Cube got together, and you know they came up with Friday. You know, they asked him about the process of how Friday was written and everything, and they was like, you know, they was the guy that was talking to him was like, you know, he seen in the movie NWA that Cube was sitting there writing, and he asked him, was that true? And he was like, yeah, Cube was writing his parts and I was writing my parts. And he said that the character Smokey was actually about him. You know what I'm saying? That was him. He wrote all the stuff about Smokey, you know, and Cube wrote all the stuff about himself and everything. He said Debo was actually a character in the hood, but he was like, Debo was a character in everybody's neighborhood.
Yeah.
So, you know, he was like, he wanted to do something different. So, and I mean, I applaud that.
I do too.
I applaud that. We need other areas to venture off into, you know.
Yeah, because we got to because, you know, can't just keep doing slave movies, can't keep doing, you know, dope dealer movies, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
We need more love stories, you know, more love stories about, you know, black couples going through the struggle and at the end, you know, still being together and being strong and being in love.
Right.
Because I think that's for our community. That's an important part for us to get to where we actually going. Agreed.
I mean, that's you know, the painted picture that they painted, you know what I'm saying, all the Obamas, you know, was beautiful. Even if it was stuff going on in the background that we don't know, they knew how to keep it together for the public. And I applaud that.
And I do too. I applaud. The Obamas, I respect their relationship. Like I said, I'm not personally in it, but from, like you say, from a public view, it looks like it's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It looks like it's beautiful. It looks like they probably sit at home and debate about things and, you know, and hug each other and kiss each other after they get down debating, you know what I'm saying? Some households, somebody get to debating and arguing, you know what I'm saying? It's knives getting pulled out, you know what I'm saying?
It's all on Facebook again.
Kids in the room crying, you know?
Right.
At least, you know, that's the household I grew up in. I don't know about, you know, some other people's households.
Right.
But that's the kind of relationship, you know, that's what made me want to be like, man, when I get somebody and I love them, I'm going to love them for real. I'm not saying I did start off wrong. I did start off wrong. You know, I was young and I was manipulated by what I seen. And yeah, I used to put my hands on girls when I was young. I used to do things like that. But as I got older, I realized, like, if I punch my girl in the face, you know what I'm saying, I can't even take her nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
And now you got to look at her looking
bad. Then I got to look at it. You know, I got to come home and look at this black eye, you know what I'm saying, till it go down. She's scared to go places. She putting on sunglasses just to go to the store and stuff. It's like, oh, man, this is horrible, you know?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, I haven't personally, you know, put my hands on a young lady and anything, but just even the chaotic moments in the home. You know, I mean, it took time to grow up and to develop to understand that there's a better way than arguing, to just simple have a conversation and talk. Communication is the key.
Communication is the key. You know, and I'm not saying don't argue. You know what I'm saying? Don't argue. Everybody got things they're going to argue about.
Yeah,
but it's a level. It's an argument level. You know what I'm saying? That you, like, I respect you too much to go past this level. You know what I'm saying? Not saying these people on the street, you can argue with them all day, do whatever you got to do. But at that household, you need to make sure that these kids ain't being exposed to violent arguing, you know, people belittling each other horribly, you know, it's because when you close with somebody, they know your secrets. Right. And then they can hit you with some of your cut you so deep with some of them secrets, like, oh, that's why you like, hold on, man, I told you that in privacy. Right. And then you're going to hit me back with it, you know, and that hurts. Yeah. And then that makes you react, you know, and that's how it ends up getting out of control. But like you say, as you get older, you learn about what a relationship is, and I'm still learning. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm still learning, and I'm happy as hell in my relationship. My relationship is great. You know what I'm saying? We have a good time. We do a lot of things together. You know, but I'm still learning. You know, and I hope she learning. You know.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, a relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's a process. A marriage is a process. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with somebody else and their emotions is a process. So I mean, it's something that you have to, you know, constantly work towards every day.
Now, you know, not to change the subject, man, but you know, I was listening to the radio on the way over here, and I'm listening to the radio, man, and this song come on, right? And the guy is talking about, like, he doing something as simple as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 M's in, like. I'm trying to understand, man, the creativity. Like, if you think this is cool, where is the creativity coming from, man? Like, it really bothered me that his hook was that simple. Like, he counted to 8, 1, 2, 3. The hook didn't even rhyme, man.
But see, that's the thing with the youth nowadays. I'm not gonna knock their music, but I'm really not seeing too much creativity in the music. So, you know what I'm saying, I don't listen to a lot of it, and that right there, I don't know, man. Like I said, I think nowadays these record labels is dealing with people more on gimmicks than they actually dealing with them on talent.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that, because that don't make sense. Like my man said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 M's in my bank account. Yeah, that. And then he said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shooters ready to gun you down.
And that's you know what I'm saying. I mean, for the youth, they like that. But like you know what I'm saying. And again, I say the youth, they high. They high. They really not paying attention to the music. It's just the beat and whatever hook. Because if you're paying attention to half of the stuff that these young artists are saying, and I mean, if it's working for y'all, work for y'all. But understand that that's not music that's gonna last forever. You know what I'm saying? If you take a Tupac, if you take a Biggie, if you take a Jay-Z, if you take a Nas, you know they got music that you can play that they still playing 10, 15 years later.
Yeah. And a song like that, you know, it's only gonna get played
this summer.
Yeah, once it's over. You'll never hear it again.
It's not coming back.
Like, even them kids not to go play that again.
No.
They're gonna be like, I'm not even playing this song.
Not at all. They moved on to the next thing already.
Yeah, because I still go back and I listen to some NWA songs, and like, man, the creativity. Right. Is it that all the creativity has already been done and nobody can't do nothing else? No. I can't ever get to that point, because I see Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, you know what I'm saying? It is some artists out there that are, you know, pushing that barrier to the next level. Right. But it's these other artists that's, while I'm pushing it, you pulling it back down. You know, like Drake is a great artist to me. You know,
I like Drake when he ain't singing all the time. But I like I mean, and then I have to ask you, you know what I'm saying, since you mentioned Drake, is Drake do you consider Drake a good artist because he can rap, or do you consider Drake a good artist because he can rap other people's raps?
I don't know. To that point, you know what I'm saying, even to rap somebody else's rap is really hard. Like to rap it and you say it and I can't even hear the person who wrote it. Like, now that's something really hard to do. Like, if you ever
or is that a good writer? Because I mean, no, Dr. Dre, his style stayed the same, even though he's had multiple writers.
Multiple writers. That's what I'm saying. Somebody like Drake and even And even Sean Puffy Combs. The only time I heard Sean Puffy Combs where I can actually hear the writer is when when Twista wrote that verse.
Okay.
You know, I could totally hear that, Twista saying everything he's saying. And a lot of songs I hear R. Kelly write for people, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can actually hear, like, this is R. Kelly.
Yeah, because R. Kelly gonna write for you and he gonna do the production for you, so you can tell it's an R. Kelly type, you know what I'm saying, song.
Yeah, so you can hear R. Kelly all through it.
Right.
But the person that could take an R. Kelly song and you don't even know that R. Kelly had nothing to do with it because they put their own flair to it, that takes an artist. Like,
right.
Like, I like the song, but I need to say this, I need to do that, and it need to sound like this, and they can control it. Because some people just get it and they try to sing it just like R. Kelly would, you know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah. I mean,
so
you got artists out here like that. I don't
know. And then when it comes to people saying like Drake, right, he got ghostwriters and this and that. I don't know if he do it, if he don't. I don't even really care. But the thing of it is, like, sometimes ghostwriting ain't what you think it is. Like, if me and you sitting around and we doing some music and you come up with an idea.
No, that's collabing.
Yeah, that's collabing.
That's collabing. But
now, if you at home and you come bring me a sheet of paper and say,
yeah, and I mean that's been shown that Drake has done that, but it wasn't a sheet of paper. It was a video where it's showing Drake how the song was written and rapped and everything, and he was supposed to come along and
re-rap
it. Yeah, when Meek Mill bust him out, that's pretty much what it was. You know what I'm saying about. So
I don't know. I don't know how I feel one way about that or not, because some of the greatest songs have been written by somebody else. Like Still Dre is like one of my favorite songs.
And Jay-Z
wrote it. Scott Storch did the beat.
He did the piano.
Yeah,
Dre.
the most important part
Right.
that make that song what it is.
Right.
He did that part.
Mm-hmm.
But
Dre's been that way since day one.
I know.
He's been that way since day one.
So that make it okay?
No,
it's okay for Dre, but it ain't okay for Dre.
No, it's not okay for Dre, but Dre has never ever stated that he's the best MC. He's never tried to take that title.
Did Drake try to take that title?
Yeah, Drake has always said he's number one. Drake is.
So what is we talking about? Music sales, or is we talking about?
No, as far as being an MC, you can't be an MC, a true 100% MC, unless you writing and rapping your own everything.
Which I agree with that, because I'm a writer. You know what I'm saying? I wrote a lot of raps. You know what I'm saying? But but Precept also wrote raps for me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
My brother has wrote raps for me, and I have wrote raps for him. You know what I'm saying? That he.
So you couldn't consider yourself to be the best MC?
Oh,
then? Nah, you can't.
You crazy.
You can't get that title. You can't get that title.
No,
you can't have that title. You forfeited it.
No, man, that's horrible.
That's like saying Floyd say he the best fighter in the world, but in the 5th round he gonna have somebody come in and fight the last 2-3 more rounds for him, and then he gonna come back. You can't do that. You can't do that.
I ain't never looking at it like that, but
you can't do that.
That's a little extreme.
You can't do it. If you gonna hold a title, you have to have put in the work for the title all by yourself.
No, because music music is something that you really just can't do all by yourself.
Understood. Not me. I mean, come collabing with other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's a song we working on, I might come up with the title. You might come up with the hook, and we go from there and keep going and everything. But it's just we gotta. I don't know, man. You gotta put in that 100% work. You can't just write the right part of the song and then say, okay, you finished the rest, and now you know what I'm saying, I got a hit and I'm the best ever that done it. No, because the best part of the song might be the part that I wrote.
Yeah, the part that the other person wrote. But if you that's the crazy part about music sales. If you got them numbers, you're gonna get that cocky attitude, like I'm the best out here. Ain't nobody doing what I'm doing.
If I found out that, to me, my favorite rapper in the world was Tupac. Still to this day. If somebody told me that Tupac had a ghostwriter, it would crush my whole everything about Tupac. If somebody told me that Tupac was not writing his lyrics and it was somebody else writing his lyrics for them, it would crush my whole musical love for Tupac.
I can understand that. I can understand that. I don't know. I guess for me, since Drake and them is younger than me, it's different. Tupac and them was people who I looked up to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't look up. It's impossible for me to look up to Drake. You know what I'm saying? It's
not even musically. You couldn't look up to him musically.
I respect his music and I like his music and I like listening to it. But I don't respect him in the way that I respect somebody older than me. It's just hard for me to respect somebody and put them on a level higher than me, and they're not as old as me. They haven't experienced some of the things that I experienced at all.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you. You know what I'm saying on that, and it's sad that I have to go back to this point, but it goes back to, you know what I'm saying, my days of being on the streets. You know what I'm saying, and there was this guy, you know, like I said, I had worked my way up to a certain level in the streets to where I was able to take care of the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. You know, the neighborhood would spend their money with me. And there was an older guy, I think, that was bothered by that he actually had to come do business with me. And when I had spoke to a person that, you know what I'm saying, I looked up to as like, you know, as a big brother, or uncle, as almost like a mentor to a certain level, he had to break it down to me for me to understand it, because I was young, I was wilding, and I just didn't give a care at that point in time. And he had to pull me to the side and say to me, he's bothered, you know what I'm saying? It's a bitterness there because he has to come to you, and it's not the other way around. And he feel like since he's older than you should be shopping with him and not him shopping with you. So his pride is on the line. Mm-hmm. And I didn't get it then, which I still don't get it now, because if it's somebody that's younger than me and they're in a better situation than I am, and if I was going to them for whatever type of help I was going to them, I would still praise them the same way that I would praise the person that's older than me. I mean, I wouldn't look at you like, you're never gonna be better than me, because I know the potential that I have to be who I need to be. Mm-hmm. But I am gonna put you on that level up there because you actually on a better level than I am. Yeah. So I'm gonna look up at you on that level and that plateau, and I'm gonna salute you. But at the same time, I'm gonna tell you I'm coming.
Yeah. Well, I guess to that degree, I guess, you know, I don't look up to people that's younger than me. Maybe that's a fault of mine. I just never really thought about it, but it could be a fault of mine that I don't look up to people that are younger than me. Even if they have more money or anything, it just doesn't bother me. Like, to me, you're a kid or some kind of level. Like I say, even Lil Wayne, I respect the hell out of Lil Wayne. What he has done in the music industry from 12 years old to however his age is now. He's a musical talent, and I enjoy his music. I respect his music, but I'll never put him over me because he's younger than me. Me being an artist, I always looked at it like that. The only way I can look at somebody is, I guess they have to be older than me. Like I say, that could be a fault of mine. And this is Trilogy. Look like our time is up. We're going to be signing off here real soon.
But, you know, we got more episodes to come. And for those that tuned in to us and listened to us, we appreciate y'all. And we've been sending out, you know, emails and text messages and Facebook Messenger and Instagram on how to get into the contest that we have going on. All you have to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Subscribe to that channel, y'all.
And continue to check us out. And on the next episode, we will let the person that get drawn for the winning, we will reveal it then. So tune in, stay in tune. And this is Kato.
Go to that YouTube channel, subscribe so y'all can win that jewelry.
Come on, get it.
For sure. That's Trilogy, y'all.